Welcome to the Creation Evaluation Station. Today we will be evaluating this. It's Jay and Nia's race car EVO. Here is the back. I think this one looks much better with the additional pictures along the back. It gives it a little bit more than just a blank white slate like the Green Dragon. And also, I may have just not been paying attention, but I was looking at this box and really like the kind of comic book artwork that's in the background, rather than a picture or something else. I think it's neat, something interesting, notable. Anyways, regarding the set, it is ages 7 and up, set number 71776, and it retails for $49.99 on the Lego website, and currently they have them. I think I've seen this in stores as well. And it has 536 pieces. So, not too much to say about this so far. I mean, I didn't get Lloyd's car. I kind of like the looks of this one better, and I am excited because, I mean, I like the look that it does look like a real car, only pimped out. And it also came with really the only major vehicle for the villains, which is also a pretty nice looking helicopter, to be honest. So let's go put this together. Oh, and before I get any further, don't forget to check out the timestamps down below, and so you can see exactly what you want, or watch parts of it at a time in case you don't have time to watch the whole thing. I know they tend to be long, but I like to make them in depth. So there you have it. Let's get building. This is what's inside the box. We have instructions, a pretty good size, thick pamphlet. We have bag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I did not find any stickers. And this is interesting because it definitely looks like there should be stickers on that car, but maybe those are prints. We'll have to find out when we open it. Correction, we do have stickers. Found them. They were inside the front cover of the instructions. I don't know if they're going to be doing that now instead of having them floating free, or maybe they just fell down in there. But okay, so we do have stickers. Not too many, it looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 stickers there. Here we have the cast for this set. Got 2 good guys, 2 bad guys. Nice and even. 2 snake guys, and we have Jay and Nia, which is kind of obvious from the title of the set. It's Jay and Nia's car. They are all really nice. As I've said before, I think Nia is my favorite ninja design for this wave. Love the snakes, and this is the first time so far that I've gotten one of these, the black snakes with the big fists, and it's pretty cool. I like the armor on them, which you can see a little bit better if I put the hands down. We got gold weapons for both ninjas this time around, and Jay has his hairpiece, which is nice. I don't know why they can't just add a hairpiece for every ninja in the set. It almost acts like they're part of the collectible. I mean, we assumed it was the little flags, but it makes you wonder about these hairpieces. Although they did it with the previous wave as well. Actually, thinking about it, I'm guessing it probably has something to do with their like minifigure budget for this set, and there's already quite a bit here, so maybe that's why they limit the number of wigs per set. But it is a bit annoying, because if you you get this set, you get Jay's hairpiece, but you don't get Nia's. If you want hers, you got to buy a different set with her in it, which you get duplicates, but then you never have enough hair pieces. But though why you would want multiple hair pieces on multiple ninjas with hair that look exactly alike, I don't know. I mean, you could have a large army of ninjas with their masks on, and it would make more sense than having the hair pieces appearance. But let's strip these down and get a better look at their printing on their backs and fronts. Here they are, with all their paraphernalia stripped down, except for Jay's wig, I thought I'd show. And yeah, you can see the printing much better. You can see what I've been saying about the kind of clash of designs between the bad guys and the ninjas. There's you know, ninjas are very simple, the bad guys are very highly detailed, and it's quite the contrast, I think. And just take Jay's hair off so he's like everybody else. So let's flip it around, see what they look like from the back. And continuing the theme from the front, ninjas are simple, snake guys are much more complex. Got two different torsos for the snake guys, even though the legs are the same. And there's their faces, their secondary faces, their smiley faces. I do like how the ninjas have one side, or their game face, their determined face, and the other face is much more happier, jovial. Here we have everything together, both literally and figuratively, with all the different subsets for this. Not that there's that many, but we'll be looking at each vehicle individually. I thought we'd look at it all together. First, let's start with the villain's vehicle. This helicopter, I really like the looks of it, despite its couple lacking things. I really think the color scheme is interesting with the blue and the green, but it's not like the whole build is like that. It's only bits and pieces. I could maybe even made a little bit more, like maybe a little bit more orange in here or something, but it doesn't look bad, and it gives a interesting aesthetic to it. And the helicopter looks similar to something in real life, which is always nice, even though it's definitely not super accurate to it. And these propellers are, well, for one, I don't know if you can tell. You can tell by comparing it with this piece right here, which is black. But this is not a black color, and I'm not sure what exactly you'd call it or how it's made. But it's definitely not straight black, which gives the propellers an interesting appearance. And they spin really well, like you see here, although it's much easier to spin right here. And they are also like tilted a little bit, and that tilt allows them to keep going much longer, which is really nice effect for kids to play with. And then it also has this gimmick, which I just accidentally hit, is these little pontoon things aren't really pontoons, they're like some kind of a bomb or something, and they're only attached by one little stud, so you can easily knock them off and bomb somebody from above. And this cockpit is very interesting design as well, and it's pretty roomy in there, which is good because we have this one snake guy in there who's got got his big fists. Now, it's not roomy enough for the other guy with his big backpack, but even still, there's lots of room. And I like this build for the joystick. Yeah. This has got some great, shaping to it and structure. I mean, technically, this should be covered up here in the front because he's going to get quite a few bugs in his face. Yeah, it's a really nice build and design. Can't say there's anything overly complicated, but a lot of thought went into this build, for sure. And this cockpit also kind of reminds me of the... Oh, there goes the bomb again. They do come off easy. But the cockpit reminds me of the old Blacktron 2 cockpits that were basically pieces like this that closed up around them and also had a very roundish appearance to it. Someday we'll get a look at them. But, I mean, the only thing it's lacking for its realistic is there should be some kind of propeller on the back and not just this, like, fin. That's not quite how helicopters work. But other than that, this is a really nice looking vehicle. And, let it be known, it is the only large vehicle the villains actually have. So, take that what you will. But onto the main car. Here's our car. It's very nice looking, and I really like the shape of it. You know, it's got a lot of extra bling on it with all these gold pieces here and in the front. It's like, I almost wish this had been built just a regular front, and without this it would look like a much better looking car. I mean, that can come off, but then you end up with just a kind of gaping hole there in the front. Now, the weird thing about this is supposed to be an EVO set, and looking at the instructions or whatever, there's no point where it's supposed to be the powered down version. All that really appears to be supposedly added is Nia's flyer here gets connected. That's it. So that's the stripped down mode, I guess. It just kind of feels like just a regular set to me. I'm not sure why they called it an EVO, but yeah. And now Nia's little flyer here is kind of cute. Can have its swords out like that, looking rather deadly. I do find it kind of funny that Nia gets a flyer when Jay's usually the one who gets the flying vehicles, and since he's the air ninja and she's the water ninja, but she's got flying vehicle this time. But yeah, it's you know, cute little build. It's not amazing, but it does look really nice when you attach it to the car like so. And it's on a hinge, so you can lift it up like that. Not that it looks good, but you need to lift it up like that so you can lift the cockpit to the car up. Another great thing about this car is it is actually a two-seater. Now, I put Nia on top just so, you know, she's on her little side build. But if you take her gear off, you can put her inside there with Jay together. You don't have to take the weapons off and stuff, which I just tossed his stuff in there. And yes, there's no place to put weapons like usual. I thought maybe I could get it in here, but there's just not enough space. But this car definitely has some nice curves. You can see right there with the profile. Very nice. And the front here, this is kind of neat. It has these semi-hidden stud launchers. Well, dot launchers, I guess. And they're quite movable up and down, so you could If you want to bomb somebody or shoot them up in the sky, you got that, which is good when you considering your enemy vehicle in this is a helicopter. Other than that, it doesn't have too much gimmicks going for it. It's a very nice looking car. Like I said, it could use maybe a little less bling, but this is Ninjago. We're not going to do less bling. But it's a pretty nice build. And it rolls fairly well. It's not a super roller. And I'm sure some people really don't care about that. Like, you can't take it and just have it fly across the room. My dealings with cars when I was a kid was we usually just smashed them into each other and really rolled them really good because they were Hot Wheels cars, which rolled really well. So to me, that's always a little bit of a detriment, but to people who really like cars, I'm sure it's not a big deal. Especially, I mean, it doesn't roll bad. It's a nice, smooth roll. Listen to that. Those rubber tires is very nice. But yeah, there's not too much more to this car. There was quite a bit of stickers on here, which it looks fairly decent without the stickers, I think. Do like how they have this. It really, these pieces are shaped to be sort of like a lightning bolt, which makes sense for Jay's car. And back here is the collectible for this set. Sitting back there between the blades. I do like these blade pieces. I don't know what they're supposed to represent in this thing. Are they supposed to be exhausts, I suppose? But that's a bit weird for exhausts. But yeah, this is a very nice looking set. Both this car and the helicopter together look really good both. And with that, let's head back to the desk and give it the final grade. Welcome back to the desk. Time to give this its final score. Final rating, or as I like to call it, the final eval. So, to start off with, I really like this set. It's well balanced. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. So, it's probably going to reflect that in the score. But let's get to it. For appearance, well, it's a lot of good things here. This helicopter looks amazing. It looks realistic, but not realistic. But enough that it, quick glance, you'd think that's a real helicopter. Car looks fairly realistic. It's got way too much bling to it. But just the profile of the car, it looks like a real sports car that just been excessively blinged out, which wouldn't be the first time someone's blinged out a car before. Probably the least interesting thing to look at is Nia's little flyer. Now, it's kind of cute. It's not amazing. But that said, when it's actually attached to the car, it actually looks, pretty good. It adds to it. Gives it its rear foil. Let's see. You take it off. Yeah, see, it's just kind of smooth. All this gives it a rear foil and everything else. So appearance, we're going to give it a 9. Yeah, it's really nice looking set. So on to function. There's a lot of good things here that function well. These rotor blades work great. The design of it to, so that it's slightly off kilter, so it keeps the rotation going. Very nice. Cockpit works really good for getting figures in and out. Bombs work, nothing special, but they work. The nice, they designed this with a hinge, so you can get into the cockpit. which that's very important. um, unless you don't ever want to get your characters out. The hidden stud shooters, very nice. They are, I mean, they're not totally hidden, but they also could look like part of an engine sitting underneath the hood. But they look good, and overall, you know, it functions well. The car rolls fairly well. Like I said, you can't just throw it across the room, but it rolls pretty good. It doesn't require that much effort to get it to go. Helicopter talked about, yeah. So, anyways, the function is also getting a 9. There's, like I said, a lot of good stuff here. Fun, once again, it's a lot of fun to be had here. You have 2 bad guys and 2 good guys, so we're even there. And not only that, they both have a decent sized build. The helicopter is probably a little bit smaller than the car. You could say that the Mia's little flyer is an extra one, but it's really small, not that important. And then you have this guy with his backpack, so even that kind of balances out. So there's an equal fun there. The set was really nice and fun to put together. It came together well. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, a lot of scenarios. Like I said, the shooters actually can point up in the air pretty good, high. So, you know, you can easily fire on the helicopter. Now, there's no... Well, actually, yeah, you can... I stand corrected. They'll twist side to side, too, so you can aim them suckers right where you want them to shoot. So the fun is getting a 10. We are very happy with what we got here. Now techniques. Now there's nothing overly amazing about any of these builds, but there's good technique in how they were shaped. I mean, this is not overly complicated how they made the blade, but it works good. And the same thing for, you know, like the cockpit and just the shape of the car. Shaping is not like a complicated thing, but it's something you have to consider when you're building these sets. When you're building really anything, you could just build something that works, but you also want to make sure it looks good at the same time. And that does require a lot of neat little techniques to get things done. And both of these sets really have that. Get the shaping of the car and the, you know, just the right angle for certain things, and like get this cockpit to work right and look good at this kind of sloped angle that it's at. So even though there's nothing really in deep, amazing techniques that were uses, there's still a lot of little things, and those do count too. So technique is going to get a 9 also. So as you can see, it's a pretty decent set we got going here. And you do the math and add it all up, divide by 4, and you get a 9.25 for a grade, which we will round up to a 9.5. Very good set. All right. Now, price. The price is very good as well. We shall see here in a moment. If you're, let's see, $49.99, it's around $50, and it's 536 pieces. And it ends up being 9 cents per piece, which is a penny below the standard. And considering how just well designed this set is and everything else, that puts us at a very good price. So it's getting a G for good. It's not the top at extreme, but or excellent. Excuse me. E for excellent. E is for excellent. It's not getting an excellent. It would, like if you got this for 7 cents a piece or something like that, where it's a really good price. That excellent price is really hard to get, anyways. Just saying. Yeah. So this is getting a G for good. It's great set, great price, and overall final grade is a 9.5 G. Now, that being said, just some additional thoughts. Like, I really like this car. I like the look of this car. I like the build of this car. And I like the functions of this car. If you see one of my previous video, I did the Ninja Sub Speeder, which is basically a car that turns into a sub. And I didn't really like that one. I mean, I like the looks of it, just like I like the looks of this. But when I got putting it together, its final function was kind of lackluster. Now, this doesn't have any fancy transformative function, but it's got a lot other design to it. Like, okay, the only really transformative thing is the guns moving out and Neo's vehicle popping off, which that isn't amazing. But the overall design of the car and around a 2-seat and the build for, making sure it has an open and closed cockpit so you can get into there and get your characters in and out. And designed to build the curves and everything else, just it felt much better to put together, and in the end it's more satisfying than that car. You can go check out my previous video, which I probably already have a link here for it. Neither one is a bad set. It's just that one felt like there was, in fact, that car, even though it was a one-seater car, is bigger than this one. I think this has more pieces because that one relied on some rather large pieces to build it. And that said, it was kind of a clever way how they did it, but it made it lacking in both. I don't know. The build just wasn't as enjoyable, and also in the end product, there was really wasn't much going on except for those tires that were simply on large hinges. So yeah, go check that out and you can compare it to what I have to say about this one. Other than that, that's it for this set. And if you like this video, please, hit that like button and comment down below and share with others with similar interests. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and also hit the notification bell down there. It will, YouTube will hopefully let you know when I have a new video out. And if not, you can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, which links are down below. They'll let you know when I have new videos out, but also sometimes I just have quick things to say about news for upcoming videos and stuff like that going on in there. So that'll keep you even more so up to date. But other than that, I hope you have a good day. And if you have this set, tell me what you think about it. And remember, creativity is key. We have the leftovers of our set, and it's always wonderful to see all the extra katanas and other weapon accessories and pieces. We even once again have a extra chain, only this time it's a gold chain. This is what, the second time that this has happened? Seems like they started doing this with this wave, putting the extra chains in there. Really nice and kind of unexpected, because you'd think that'd be a little bit more of an expensive piece to make. We have a couple other dots and, well, no dots, but 1x1 studs and a couple other little gribbly pieces in there. But plenty of weapons and weapon parts like lightsaber hilts and things. And of course, we have our obligatory brick separator in a larger set. Here you have bag 1. Got quite a few pieces in here. A lot of pieces spread out most of the bags. There's some a little bit lighter, but not too much. A lot of orange pieces in here. Kind of cool. Including some big plate. Now this, something new I haven't seen. It's a too thick plate, I guess you would call it. But it's got, see if I can, yeah, you see the corners there? There's texturing all around it, but it's basically a double thick 2x2 plate, and it does have a, you see there, a rod hole in the middle. It can come in handy, but it's an interesting piece. I don't know how it's going to be used. I mean, it's mostly just texture, so it's not like it has any real buildable value, just has appearance. We have Nia and the one snake guy in here. We have quite a few swords, different varieties. Fire pieces, those are nice. Orange and greens, the color scheme here. A lot of little pieces as well as the bigger ones. Yeah, we've got some interesting pieces here, starting with these transparent canopy pieces, windows. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're in the, I don't know what exactly you call the color. I mean, I'd call it a smoke color, but you would call it trans black, I suppose. Transparent black. That doesn't make much sense, just but they always look a little bit brownish to me anyways. That's why I like to call it smoked color. Then you got trans green. Those are definitely trans green round bricks. 2x2s and some other interesting pieces. You got these big sword pieces, and they're black, I think. I don't know how well this shows up, but they have a strange tint to them. Made out of different plastic or something. They don't quite look like solid black. If you look at them right next to that other black piece, which is definitely black, it's a very strange color. Speaking of which, there's more of those double thick textured plates. I don't know what else you want to call them. And we also have, ta-da, some scaffolding. A lot of interesting parts in this one. Ooh, that got away. You're supposed to be over there. Anyways, moving on. A lot of orange swords. I don't think they belong to any particular ninja in this set. They're used for construction or something. A lot of small kibble pieces, pins, you know, extenders, lots of different things. And we also have one of these new mech chess pieces, I guess we'll call them for now. There's no mech here, but yeah, that's an interesting piece to have. Definitely a lot of interesting pieces in this one. We've got third bag here. Definitely like the looks of this. There's a lot of pieces. We have a large card chassis, but that's the only really large piece except for some plates. This is going to be a much more fun thing to build than I think than that Hydro Bounty, or not Hydro Bounty, the Ninja Subspeeder that I was rather disappointed in. I mean, I did not have fun putting it together. It had some interesting build designs, but it's like there really wasn't a lot of parts that built up that car. This looks much more fun and challenging, so to speak. But yeah, there's a lot here. And Jay's here, of course, back there in the corner. But here is the fourth bag. One more to go after this. Got a lot more car pieces in here, including the front windshield. Not too interesting. We do have some gold stud shooters. The last snake enemies in this one. We have these, some clear 1x1s, smoke as I call them, and a yellow 1x2 transparent. Interesting pieces. Don't know what they're going to be part of, but it's not as much stuff in this bag. The last bag must have all the wheels, because we are still missing wheels. And the car's gotta have wheels. But, there's that bag. On to the last bag. Bag number 5. A lot of larger pieces here, mostly frilly stuff. We finally have come across our wheels and tires. These are interesting, these golden hubcaps. I really like these sword pieces. I've seen them somewhere before, but they're kind of cool because there's, unlike the plain blade like this one down here, there's more you can do with these. Anyways, and here's our little gold blades. And there's a lot of little pieces as well. I think we have our ammo pile here. Yeah, there's not too much in this last bag, but car's mostly done. It needs its wheels and all of its trimmings.